Hey guys, it's your boy Tofuru, and welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc, and finally, yes finally, we're coming to the court case about Robo-Justice. So, without further ado, let's get this shit started, and meet our fellow classmates. Wow, this party has gotten so much smaller since I've started this game. The amount of voices I have to think about are very minuscule, at best. Alright guys, I hope this video finds you well, and I hope you're having a good week so far, and fuck, it's the starting video of the week! Think better! But guys, I hope this is a good start to your week and you guys enjoy this video. I'm not sure how long it's going to be by the end of it, but please, bear with me. I am kind of all over the place today, so it might not be the best train of thought I can think of, so if I derail, you might see a lot more edits than usual. But anyway, everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. As soon as we were all there, there's two of them. Appears! There's two of them? Why? Like, hello, hello, hello. He's multiplied?
Wrong.
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast, it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma?
Whew.
Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy, tough crowd.
You're not playing along? Along?
Stop talking.
We we're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Hey!
Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train or elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Fucking weirdo. Okay then, shall we?
Please!
Hold on. I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins. Asahina, you seriously are gonna condemn this guy? Like, are you serious? He might have been like... He might be a case of wrong place, wrong time, wrong suit to be wearing? I guess? Oh no, this whole thing seems too... forced, I guess. Or planned.
What the heck?
I told you already. I didn't do it. For serious. I don't know if that's a translation error. Or that's just the way they like writing that, because I'm pretty sure he means for real. But they keep saying for serious, and I can't take him seriously, which is for serious. Because I think like for cereal. I'm getting confused. It's bad. That was a bad reference to South Park. I don't know if you guys know that one, but alright. For cereal. That reminds me. Did you ever find the other costume, or not? Well, no, but... How unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit. Oh god.
Hey.
This is not the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's get down there first, then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea, Bikuya. You've never had a good idea this entire time, you dick! Alright, but I'll agree with you today. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Tafumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive. And for the two that lost their lives. Jesus. The one who killed Tafumi and Taka. The one who killed 2 of our friends. The killer is... dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Someone right here. Alright, is anyone going to talk about anything, perchance? The story begins when we get down there. Alright, so it seems like no one's going to say anything important. I mean, I don't think... It would appear the culprit has been confirmed. This trial will be over in no time. Yeah, no one's going to say anything of merit. It's pretty much, let's get down there, let's start this court trial, and let's get this game underway. I was going to say under the way. I don't know where my sentence structure is gone, guys. Maybe I'm a little too tired this morning when I'm recording. But, I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk toward the elevator. Once everyone was aboard... Man. This is the trial that's actually kind of been... I don't know, I feel like the last trial was way more confusing. I didn't know what was going on, because it was like a combo, but then again, Byakuya kind of messed it all up and made it harder to get. The doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. Oh man, there's only so many of us. How many are left? 6, 9, 8. I said 9. That was wrong. It's 3, 6, 8. I've been having some mental gymnastics right here. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator door slid open, opening up onto a cruel fate. Why does this courtroom keep fucking changing? Stop changing it! When I see all you gathered together like this, I just realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only 'cause of you. Why? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What?
Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute.
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me! Of course I'm gonna start it! I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. What are we, some crappy YouTube channel? God damn. I feel like that was too meta. Sorry. A little too much. I'd never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get your assigned seats. And so, the curtain opened once again. And a deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. Hey, at least it wasn't as hard as last time. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. Makoto, I think you need to change your words. All you're doing is using deadly again. A deadly class trial. I feel like you're very repetitive with your deadly, my dear sir. Alright. Well, let's set up our skills, because I think we have access to a bunch of other ones. We have the one from, Neutral Liberation, which the focus gauge decreases more slowly during concentration and fever time, effective during non-stop debate. The Hangman's Gambit and Bullet Time mode costs 5 SP. Now, do these skills just work automatically as we're playing? Yeah, increases the time limit for each phrase, or each phase effective during the class trial. Cost 3 SP. I guess you just choose whatever skills you want to use and go with them. Of our truth bullets, we only have 17 this time. We have the original one that doesn't give us anything. We have the blue tarp that was used to move Kiyotaka's bloody trail. We have the repository dolly, which has the blood on the wheel. Hifumi's glass is being cleaned between takes. The spotless hammer, which is probably going to be a new justice hammer. The repository door, which can only be locked from one side, being the side with the hammers. The equipment room bloodstain, where the original trail was created. The cleaned stained cloth. Celeste's account, which she said they disappeared when they left for the nurse's office. Yasuhiro's message. The Robo Justice blueprints. The costume itself. Yasuhiro's account. Broken wristwatch, which means it was broken as a result of the murder and not as a result beforehand, because he was very considerate about his time. Oh wow, that's a whole page jump down. I didn't know it did that. Yeah, Kiyotaka's paper, the note Hifumi had, which is basically this, I think, the same piece of paper. The E-handbook, which might be important because they weren't found at their bodies. Alright, I think we've gotten a good gist of what's going on and what we have to do. Without further ado, let's start this deadly clash trial. So, if I remember correctly, Monokuma brought up the fact...
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Sure, but I'm pretty sure that he said that the main culprit in this might not be the real guy who committed the murders, but the person who was the master planner. That's who we have to find. Now, Yasuhiro obviously is a forced accomplice in this, but he might not be the murderer in this case in point.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Okay.
Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Calm down, Asahina.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
Girl, calm the fuck down. You're jumping to conclusions. We have to go over all the evidence before you just start throwing accusations at Robo Justice here, okay? Calm down. Breathe.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
I think he was in a
Who are you
trans
calling a
state.
murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it.
Actually, the funny part is you can use the notes to build it against her, because we have Hiro's handwriting. It doesn't match the writing on that note, which leads me to believe that Celeste used or someone. I can't pin it on Celeste. I don't have the evidence to prove it's her. But whoever was culprit A used a third party to create the blueprints. And being that Robo Justice was coined by Hifumi, he probably is the one who knew what to draw and made the schematics for it. For reasons I have no fucking idea for. But there are and then everything that was whatever in someone else's room. Oh crap. No, because e-handbooks don't open doors. They need to have a key. But we didn't check for keys on the bodies, which would be important. Because if the keys were missing, someone could have moved the stuff out of, let's say, Hifumi's room and put it into, let's say, Hiro's room. I don't know. Right now it seems like there's a lot of things in the air here.
And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling.
Just one, fucking DNA scan. Or, not DNA scan, fingerprint scan on those boxes, and we might have a real culprit.
It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
I don't know.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know!
Poor guy is innocent. Or he might be full-blown crazy. I don't know. Yeah, like, is Hiro really the killer, or... before anything else, we have to make that clear. Here we go. So our first obstacle in our way is to clear if Hiro is the killer or he was a toy or a pack. He was a patsy. That's what it's called. Patsy or paxi. I think that's the correct
Everything we
thing.
found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
Okay.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
I think I have the gist. I do want to make sure I know how to do, the one other thing I need to make sure I know how to do. Sorry guys to do this, but it's, between Clash Trials, it's like episodes, so I always forget certain aspects. Like, we just learned, not the silencer. The silencer is the right mouse button. Did they not tell us the recoil thing? I thought it was fast forward argument, flashback left mouse. Is it just you hold it? Huh. I guess it's you hold it over the thing and you capture it. Okay. Yeah, compelling evidence that Hiro is the killer. Is that really true?
Everything we found in your room.
Yeah.
The blueprints,
The suit parts, they
That's
are
it.
all... No, that's wrong.
Because the blueprints don't match his actual written message. Because he has beautiful handwriting.
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
Bam! Throwing it down on the court.
what do you mean?
Well,
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared.
exactly.
The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but the problem is we don't have everybody else's handwriting, so if it was someone who's now deceased, we wouldn't know unless we saw them physically write something down.
When you compare it to the blueprints,
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Exactly.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
That's too intentional. Especially Hiro, who loves his handwriting. Why would he ever change it?
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on. I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
Using your stupidity to your advantage. I like it. I like it, Hiro. I like it a lot.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
He might have something to do with it, but he's not the head honcho.
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
Holy shit, Yakuya. We're on the same side? That never happens.
what?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit?
Oh no, that was Hiro. The problem was the person in the Robo-Justice suit wasn't committing the murders.
Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit.
Oh, what? Was there really two suits?
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
What? And of course, he passes it off to me.
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
The Illuminati. Just it is Hiro, but he wasn't the one who. It can't be Hina, can't be the Illuminati. It has to be Hiro. He's just not the culprit.
I got it!
Is that
Other
right?
than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
He didn't, but we can't deny that he wasn't in the suit.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
Exactly.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
It's just, it was the bigger distraction to hide what was actually going on behind the scenes.
What?
Yeah.
Now that's a bold assumption.
Not really. It's like a magician's trick. You know, you distract everybody with this big robo-justice thing going on, and then you paint a couple hammers to look like justice hammers, and you make everything seem like it's the robot that's doing it. In reality, it could be anybody wielding a hammer. I mean, those mallets are pretty strong and sturdy, so if you swung with enough force at anyone, you could kill them. It also explains how Hifumi didn't die from two different hammer strikes. On top of that, you know, like, I mean, whoever did it got Taka on that one swing, but Hifumi took two, mainly it was probably because whoever hit Taka was either equal height or slightly taller, and whoever tried to hit Hifumi, because Hifumi's freaking taller than most of the class, had difficulty getting an accurate swing onto the top of his head. So for them to get them, it took them a lot, like, they would never get a perfect strike to hurt him enough. They obviously did kill him in the end, but it wasn't the perfect arc that they wanted to instantly kill him in one shot. So that's what led to the Yasuhiro blurb coming out, or him not dying the first time.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Yeah.
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Pretty much.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around!
Well, we're trying to herd you guys to the actual culprit.
All things have a proper order.
Do they?
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
Well, we already have it, the blue tarp in the cart.
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items.
Mm-hmm.
Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Byakuya, you have no fucking idea what's going... I don't know. Here's the problem. I feel like you have an idea of who it is, but you want me to come to the thing because people trust me in my judgment call at this point. The thing that was used to move Taka's body, they must have been... The things. Well... One... where's that tarp? That's one, but I guess the repository dolly is the more important thing.
I got it!
The dolly's definitely one. There's still one more thing. The things that were used to must have been...
I got it!
I'm pretty sure it's both.
They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What? What?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room.
Exactly.
So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body.
Yeah, but I mean, how much time did it take to transport the body between locations?
That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Well, there's blood on the wheel.
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right?
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Why would I be mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body?
Yes. Yes, I can give you a recorded clip, Celeste. I visually saw it, made a note of it, and then proceeded to figure out what was going on.
That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room.
Yeah, it would be very suspicious, but it seems like someone set it up in advance.
Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
No, I saw it.
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There's blood on the wheel.
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Oh, Celeste, you want to fight? Oh, you want to fight? Those be fighting words. Okay, sure.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Oh, okay. Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being such a bitch. But maybe I can change your mind. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. A new element has been added to your bullet time battles. Would you like to hear more? Sure. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with the next bullet time battle, we're going to add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen underneath the tempo marker, you will see an ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroyed your opponent's statements. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the mouse key, or the mouse button, won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the tab key. Okay. Just like locking on, you have to press the tab key in time with the tempo maker, or marker. Okay. Basically, just remember that the tab key now has functions along with your right mouse button and your left mouse button. Alright, that's important to keep in mind. You will automatically reload at the start of a fever time, and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all. In which case, you can ignore everything I just said. Well then, good luck and have fun. Are we entering a battle between me and her, like an argument? The moment of truth. Oh shit, we are.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool.
This is really cool, actually. I like this concept.
Do your worst. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. You had it wrong. I cannot agree.
I forgot that.
I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
BAM! I forgot how to do tempo up. I was so confused. I was like, wait, how do I win this fight?
Proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here.
Yep, we do have the proof. You know what it is? The blood on the wheel, Celeste, you stupid girl.
When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it.
Can't be too perfect, can you?
There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread.
Haha.
The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository.
That blood dried pretty fast on the wheel, considering how, far it went out. Or maybe they rolled them out a bit, and then put the body onto the cart, and then... I don't know, it's weird.
So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Oh, shit. Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Sure, Bikuya.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then...
It's someone else.
What kind of robot is it?
A paxi, you know? Someone to take the fall, the scapegoat.
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer.
I mean, also, he wouldn't be able to bend down and lift anybody. on a side note, because they noted that when when I put it on, you couldn't bend at the torso. So whoever was wearing the suit probably had a lot of difficulty moving in it.
If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
Yeah. But look how the body was moved. It'd be clear why a person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? I think the blueprint's an important one in this.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
I don't think you can do that. That was it.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
Fuck no.
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together, remember?
I'm as blind as a bat in here. I can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
See, you completely ignored like little extra facts, Hina.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
Because you can't see them.
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Without it messing up or pushing the body off and creating more blood on the floor?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
Okay, Genocide Joe, calm down.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
True. Any of that accuracy would go out the window in that suit.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
But the latch on the back prevented Asahiro from even moving in it. Like, he couldn't get out of the suit until he took the latch off. So, if you put the latch on to have the suit fit, how could you possibly take it off without someone else helping you? There's absolutely no chance the costume was taken off just to move the body because you can't take it off by yourself.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make this stupid friggin' thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Bingo!
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
I don't think so. There's not much movement in the suit to begin with, so I doubt you could.
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it.
True.
Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right!
So, it's really, really true that Robo-Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
Correct.
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
Which then proves Hiro wasn't the culprit. Guys.
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo-Justice?
It looks really staged. You're in an upright position, 1. 2, it's a perfect bendable part, which in the blueprints that all they said was they wanted the arms to be able to bend about here. So it looked like that. You can't tell if he's pulling him away. Hifumi looks like he's making a face for like a reaction thing. I don't know, there's a lot of skepticism in that photo. Also, you had the time to take a perfect photo, but you were collapsed on the floor.
If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo-Justice, sir. That's why I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question.
I don't know. What if Hifumi didn't even know he was hit by Robo-Justice?
The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
I don't know. There's a lot of issues with that, Celeste.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second!
God damn it.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion.
Yeah, the problem is I don't know when that photo was taken. That's the issue. See, that could have been the night before when he was knocked out, you know? Or he was in a state, like I keep thinking he was like knocked out or he wasn't fully there when that happened. So it's hard to tell like the situation that was going on.
Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it.
It's a good point. We have all day.
Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility?
I have to agree with you, Kyoko.
Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Okay.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
That's a good point.
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
Oh, you mean like a fray in the alibis, or what people are saying?
What a pain in the ass!
But it works, Jill. We avoided you being convicted as a murderer because of it.
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Good.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
Okay.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning.
Okay.
4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone.
Exactly.
That was around 8 a.m.
And then we found Celeste,
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
which is also very weird.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice.
Okay.
It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
Celeste's face in this picture. What's wrong? I saw a shadow. Something moving around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor.
Exactly.
And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Once again, bringing us together to another point. Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
and then...
Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi! He's in the nurse's office! This is bad, come on, we have to go back. And that's when we split up into two
At that point,
groups.
we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead.
Yeah.
And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement.
Okay.
I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time,
That's kind of creepy when you think about it.
because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office.
Where we didn't find his body because someone moved it.
But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared. Also, why would
We
she be
rushed
up?
back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Okay, see, here's my skepticism on that right now. If she came up to the 3rd floor, it would mean that she had a possibility of being able to transport the body to the art room. Carrying it up all those flights of stairs is ridiculous when you think about it, but her being there is kind of suspicious on its own. We were on our way down. I don't know, it's too rapid. But the only problem is that her alibi is with Asahina being sick. So,
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
Exactly. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all of this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing.
Correct.
Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies.
Which we soon found in the repository.
And after some time...
I mean, I went straight there first, but okay, sometime.
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository.
But see, that name keeps popping up, guys. Celeste's name appears pretty much throughout the majority of this case because she either discovers something or lets us know about something going on.
Which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I don't know, guys. That's too... it's too perfect.
I think that about covers it.
I mean, that's a great recap, guys, but Celeste appears way too frequent.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
That's true. It is kind of complicated.
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation.
Really? Why is that?
And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them.
Okay. So basically, if we divide it and look at them individually, we can figure out the flaws. Alright, sure. I'm all for it, Kyoko.
Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Yeah. The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them, no matter what. Alright, another recount. Let's figure out what was wrong. Broken wristwatch might be the important thing here. Alright, let's start this.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi.
I mean, his
or
watch was
perhaps it was
set
after?
broken at 6,
We
right?
already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
No.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
No, it's not. The order of the Justice Hammers could be used to give you an idea of who was killed with what, but the hammers can be in any assorted order. It's like someone it's like if someone had 3 pigs and they released them into a school and they named them 1, 2, and 4. You'd wonder where 3 went, despite the fact that 1, 2, and 4 all came in at the same time. You'd always be wondering where was 3 in all of the commotion. So you could use the hammers in any assorted order at any assorted time. To be fair, Taka could have been murdered first, and then Hifumi could have been abducted second, and then Celeste could have been hurt first. All in the time place that took place between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. when we found them. Something about that's bothering me.
So,
Well,
regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
he didn't.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Don't think it's that, but come on, Makoto, don't scare me like that. Makes me think something weird is going on.
Shoot!
There's a contradiction in this. It's just hard to find it.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi,
That's
or
not right.
perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
The order of the Justice Hammers were used in to commit the murders. Something about that's bothering me.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in.
Thank God it was a flashback argument. So it was the numbering over the order, because you can use it. Numbering doesn't
Hold on.
constitute an order.
There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers.
Exactly.
If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
Probably.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order,
Despite them not.
but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
Yes.
Okay then, let's see the proof.
Well, the clock. Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. I feel like there was something. The broken wristwatch. Because it was broken at 6 a.m. Hangman's Gambit. Alright, let's start it, guys. I think it's wristwatch. Wrist. I need an eye. Give me an eye. I need a W. U, T, C. Give me a C. And give me an H. Give me that H, guys. Give me that H. Where is it? Got it. Wristwatch.
Now I understand.
Bam. I'm getting the gist of this case now. I mean, the pieces are falling together.
Wristwatch.
Yep.
See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
That had to be when he died. And we know Hifumi died after because he was alive until the art room. So technically his time of death is completely elongated. Or not elongated. Completely different than when he was dead. Despite the hammers being used in a different order.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
the clock was working just fine. Hey, you! How long are you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know. Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
Bingo.
And that would be his official time of death.
Or at least around there.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
Exactly.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
So she must have, whoever did it, must have set certain times, because each note was different. One was for Hiro, and it was like at 2 in the morning in the rec room. The next one was the note that was ripped, I think that said 6 in the morning, which was in Kiyotaka's hand. So he was murdered at 6 a.m.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
I guess so.
That simple fact slipped past all of us.
Yeah.
We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
Whoever is trying to cover their tracks did a really good job at mixing things up like that, though.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window.
Yeah, even ours, actually.
Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
I didn't think about that.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder.
But Hifumi's was way later.
But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
Good point.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi! He's in the nurse's office. I wonder how many times this clip will show up again. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
Yeah.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
I didn't think about that, Yasuhiro.
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Thank you, Hiro.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Oh, man.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream.
For the most part.
Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
Except Kyoko or Hiro.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office,
Okay.
Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Which allowed someone else to transport the body from the equipment room to the repository.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Yeah, well, Jill's alibi is pretty solid.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm trying to figure out how you would transport Hifumi's body upstairs.
Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Okay.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
Oh, yeah?
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
Maybe.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles.
Okay.
So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how.
Yeah, because how do you get Hifumi's body upstairs?
In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
There's gotta be some way. Without blood being dripped on the staircases or anything, yeah, there's gotta be a way.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
we could not have been gone for more than a minute or two. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
It's kind of hard.
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Unless there's more than one accomplice and someone was hypnotized. I mean, that could be a thing too, and they together, instead of their alibis set by Celeste. I don't know if Asahina even remembers going to the bathroom from being sick.
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
Did you find the elevator I was thinking about?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
What? You're telling me well, Hifumi didn't die there, but why would he drag himself to the art room?
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another ghost!
Jeez, he hates ghosts.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is...
Hifumi pulled himself up, cleaned his own glasses, discarded the rag in the trash, and then went upstairs?
We thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
That's true.
He was alive?
Well, I mean, when you cried on his cheeks, he woke up.
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
Yeah, it's possible.
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
That actually might have been Taka's discovery and not Hifumi's discovery.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
Why?
That it isn't possible.
I mean, it is, but why was he playing dead? The idea of Hifumi was still alive. Is it really possible? Yes, it was. You were literally... in the art repository, he talks to Asahina then. Alright.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
How do you know that?
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
No.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Bingo. But the body discovery announcement was only made once. That much I'm aware of. Yeah, it was Taka's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found
Hifumi in the there's a chance?
No. It is Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's
His dead body had been found.
And that is why the announcement.
Are we really so? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
It's that. I have to silence cheat it though.
Are you saying that when
So I
we
got
first
it now.
there's a
It's
chance?
exactly where it is.
Hifumi was dead. And you know that. Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along Hifumi's
Dead body had
been found.
Bam! There's the lie.
No, that's wrong.
It was Taka's dead body. Because the announcement was made at the same time. But we don't know when
Was
they found the body.
discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
We just assumed it was. And then we just assumed we found them at the same time. I mean, we could have found the bodies at the same time, but Hifumi wasn't dead. Because he was awake when we found... sorry. He couldn't have been dead then, because he was still alive in the repository when Asahina was crying over him. So, he wasn't dead until then. Which makes the alert more for Taka's dead body being found.
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
Bingo.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Correct.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
Whoa.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Yeah, she called you out, saying you're a lazy freaking bear.
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
Okay.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
The whole point is that the only reason it went off twice. The dead body announcements went off twice. The first time when we found both of them, where Hifumi wasn't technically dead, and then it went off again when we found the bodies in the repository and Hifumi died for the final time.
Huh?
It's correct. That was the right way to air that answer out, I think.
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again.
Which is why it's weird that we had a second announcement when he found the bodies in the repository.
If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Because Hifumi wasn't dead yet.
Huh? Later on?
Yeah.
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Mm-hmm. The second body discovery announcement. The first time it played when we found each body in the nurse's office and the equipment room. And the second time was when, just after Hifumi came back to life. Or it's either when Hifumi came back to life or when both bodies were rediscovered. Now that you mention it, the second announcement came right after Hifumi woke up the second last time, I think.
Shoot!
Alright, well, the second body discovery announcement. First time it played was we found each body in the nurse's office and the equipment room. And the second time was when both bodies were rediscovered.
I got it!
It's either one or the other.
We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
Mm-hmm. Ding dong, ding dong. A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
didn't seem weird at the time. But it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Unless one of them was found dead at that point.
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Exactly.
Then in reality,
That counted as Hifumi's death alert.
when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet.
Yeah. He wasn't.
Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
But technically he wasn't even dead then, because he woke up. See, that's the problem, like he woke up again.
And that's just part of it.
I guess it might have been that he was in the terminal throes of his life, like he wasn't coming back. So that was like the end of it there.
There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
His glasses were cleaned.
Oh, I know!
What?
Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
No, Jill. Good try, but no.
That is the worst logic I have ever heard.
No. He cleaned his own glasses.
But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Yes, there is, Celeste.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body.
All right.
Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
Okay.
This whole thing is pointless.
No, it's not, Celeste. There has to be proof if he was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. Alright, another discussion. Make your argument. Let's do it. Hifumi's glasses, repository dolly, repository door. Okay. Let's get this started.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
Okay.
And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
That's
And
true.
the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
Yes.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned...
Got it. What? Oh, maybe she says something else in the after effect. Crap. Alright. Alright, come on.
Well, here's one thing
Okay,
we do. The
go
first
through
time we found
this.
it, and then his body
And the next time, it was
In the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved, other than the change in how it was, there was no...
Notable difference.
Yes, there was. It was that.
No, that's wrong.
That was the difference. It was there in that moment. Because his glasses were
In
different.
fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository.
Yep.
His glasses.
They were clean.
That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Why, though?
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
Bingo. The evidence I found in the nurse's trash can is... this thing.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot.
Okay.
One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean.
Yep, it was.
And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right?
Okay.
And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
Oh yeah, the one that Celeste was using.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
He was also super upset when the camera was broken or messed up.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
Yakuya and him. And Toko.
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Really?
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
Okay.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Okay.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
Yeah, it does.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
I mean, it would explain how the body moved so fast.
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet.
I mean, he was obviously dying, though.
And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it would.
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead... What was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
Oh, man. So he used the blood packets from the nurse's office to make it look like he died. So people thought he was dead. Then he cleaned his glasses, ran upstairs, and proceeded to get murdered by a mallet? Because there's the recently cleaned one upstairs.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
Not really.
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained.
Why? Because he moved it? It would explain why they were in the same location.
It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
But why? The one who moved Taka's corpse was Hifumi.
I got it!
It would be
It could
Hifumi then.
only have been Hifumi.
He's the only one that wasn't accounted for, I guess.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
Yeah.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
Yeah, because you can only lock it from the inside.
The door was locked?
Yeah, it was. Originally, anyway.
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside.
Which means whoever was inside was the one who locked it. Which is Hifumi, I guess, at this point.
Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
Yep.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
But why was he stashing his body?
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
Okay.
But that means he took part in the murders.
Yeah. For what goal?
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Sure. Let's go, Kyoko. What do you got?
There's more?
Yeah, there's always more.
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed.
Really?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto?
Oh, the note.
The item he took off of
He
Taka's
tried to
lifeless
take
body?
He tried to take the note from his hands and only ripped off a corner. The thing that Hifumi stole from Taka. Could it be... It was... that. Oh, Taka had that?
Shoot!
I thought it was the opposite. Oh, so I guess... Did it say Taka's or did it say... Oh, it was Kiyotaka. So he had the end, and then it's the note Hifumi took. That's what she meant.
I got it!
There you go.
You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away,
In his
aren't you?
pants. Oh, yeah.
Hidden note?
Yeah. It was the same note that he gave Taka. I guess he killed him. Maybe he killed him over the computer. Remember, they both had a thing for the robot, the AI. So maybe Hifumi wrote the note because it's in the handwriting that matches the blueprints. Told him to come to this room at 6, and then he proceeded to kill him. And that's why he tried to hide the body. But for what goal and for who, I have no idea.
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we did.
What? In his
Not in his undies, just in his pants.
pants?
Calm down, Jill.
Yes, his pants.
That's a little weird, Sakura.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole. Maybe we can use it to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
Ah, that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go.
Really?
Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said,
2 a.m. in the rec room, right?
Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
See, there's the difference.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
Yeah.
It's not the same?
No. Same person, just different times.
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro.
Mm-hmm.
And that person could only have been...
Fumi's pants. Taka.
I got it!
Obviously.
That's right! Taka!
He had the other half of the note. Or the piece of paper, anyway.
The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Yes.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection!
Why are you objecting?
I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right?
Yes.
So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
No. Okay.
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
I like those nicknames, though.
Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Because not everybody gets your freaking nicknames, alright? Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary. But still, I can't let her get to me. Alright, we're getting into this again. We've had a lot of gambits here. We have to really, deal with a lot of different conversation. None of these seem important right now, other than glasses, cleaning cloth, and spotless hammer.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
No.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Yes, it
No,
does.
it's wrong.
Because he died at 6 a.m. Because of his broken wristwatch.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
Jeez.
What the hell are you talking about?
You just don't see it, Jill.
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered.
If you base it off of his broken wristwatch.
We've already proven that using his wristwatch.
Bingo.
But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Where Taka was found.
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
Okay. Alright, guys, you're getting it.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
I agree.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Thank you. At least you were fast on the acceptance of it, Jill.
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me.
Yep, and whoever did it used the same notes, was using the same writing style as the blueprints.
The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
I mean, everybody wants to leave.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
He was trying to hide it.
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Yeah.
Huh? He stole it?
Yeah, he did.
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
I do have proof, actually. Proof that Hifumi stole the note from Taka. Well, Taka has a scrap of paper.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper.
Bingo.
If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it!
Yep,
It
they
fits
fit.
perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Alright, pieces are coming together.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Proving that Hifumi took the note from Taka afterwards.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap.
The fact that he missed that was really crazy, actually.
Did I get all that right?
Yep.
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Yeah, but...
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure.
Probably was.
In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
No, he died up there.
Sorry, no.
No, he's dead. He's dead.
When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead.
Yeah, like someone actually killed him there.
The second body discovery announcement proves that.
Yeah, it does.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
The true mastermind, to cover their tracks.
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
Yeah, the true blackened, I guess.
He was killed in the repository, so he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
Yeah, well, during that time, the door was locked, and we found a cleanly washed mallet in there, so that might have been the mallet used to kill him at the end.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body.
But Celeste was the one that found him.
In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Fair enough.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
I mean, that's one alibi.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus! Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
What?
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
Oh, you don't know what they killed him with.
The weapon?
Yeah, what's specific about that?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all.
Okay.
But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right?
And this is where the washed mallet comes into play.
So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it.
Yes.
But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
Yes and no.
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Okay. So now this is, I think, where the mallet comes into play. That's for sure.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
Yeah, nice one.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either.
I'm raising my hand, guys. Let me do it. I got it.
The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments.
Okay.
But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers?
They didn't.
Personally, I haven't a clue.
Suspicious.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
1, if I remember.
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Okay.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I mean, they didn't use a justice hammer, that's for sure.
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
Yes. Yes, they were.
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow, I have to find the truth. Make your argument. Spotless hammer. It is. That's the keyword here. Alright.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3?
No.
Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
I kind of want to go to that site later.
One thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
That's the issue.
No, that's wrong.
It is not one of the hammers. It is the spotless one that I found on the rack.
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
Correct.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Yeah, it was.
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
Yeah.
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
Okay.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Yeah, it was kind of like a betrayed by your partner, I guess, thing.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Pretty much.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him.
Why?
The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder.
Yeah, it's true, but...
So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
It is ludicrous, but if someone was willing to do anything for their master, they would do it anyway. We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but... Well, what's the discussion gonna be about? broken wristwatch, spotless hammer, blue tarp. So this might be a reflex counter. We have to probably get some information.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Is there a possibility of an accomplice really that insane? Or is there some chance? So all we know is the only arguments that exist are two murders and impossible. Ugh.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us,
Hammer,
even if more than one person is complicit in the murder,
Only the one who actually...
assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Maybe
Based on the
it's...
rules, even if more than one... Only the one who actually carried out the act, assuming
The rule holds
Is
true.
that it? I guess that was it. That really didn't make too much sense to me. That two murder. I guess it's impossible because then she explained it saying that it's impossible only
Since
if
there
there's
were
one
two
murder.
murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
Okay, that makes more sense then.
What do you mean?
Well,
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering.
but to be fair, if they both committed one murder, they could have been under the falsehood that they could both get out.
Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Exactly.
Risk versus reward benefit?
Okay.
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme.
Uh-huh.
There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
Oh, okay.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
Yes.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime.
Okay.
And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
Ah.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders.
It was two people committing one murder each.
Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents.
Correct.
And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look.
Mm-hmm.
A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
Huh.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice.
Okay.
Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
Yeah, probably was.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
I'm not sure.
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
In what way? The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning. Which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but an entirely separate incidents. Words, man. Whew! Kyoko is really amazing. Although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
Well, yeah, the true culprit. The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. in the debates up till now, the way the case has been unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. I have to select someone now? Well, it's not me. It's not those two. They're all dead. It's not Sakura. Not Kyoko. Not Mondo. Not Hina. Not Yasuhiro. Not Chihiro. Not Byakuya. It's probably Celeste. I'll try it. Let's go for it. It's you.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
Bam! The gauntlet has been thrown.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
Yes. Yes, you are.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
Do you?
A joke? I wonder.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
Well, you already kind of set up your domination relationship at the beginning when you forced him to make you a, milk tea.
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot!
Holy shit.
Pardonnez-moi.
Her accent changed drastically. Is her name really... Wait a minute.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Oh shit.
Is that so?
Yeah.
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you.
Yeah, that of a master servant.
Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What was it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common? The screaming and the encountering of the suspicious individual.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it?
Yeah, because no one else saw him until we found him in the locker.
The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Exactly.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Alright, fuck you, Byakuya.
Sorry.
Fuck a dick.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual.
Mm-hmm.
If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
I guess, to sugarcoat and then force Yasuhiro to be the one that takes the fall.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct?
Yeah.
And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen.
Exactly.
Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She made an exaggerated scream.
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
Exactly.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi! He's in the nurse's office. So third time. Third time in this clip. This important clip. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
Yeah, and get the alert so it'd make it seem like Hifumi was found dead and Taka was found dead.
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Exactly. Then why don't we split into two groups? I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well. Then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura. Now, there's a reason I'm kind of confused. Why would she only grab us two, not Toko or Sakura? It's weird. I mean, I guess Sakura and Byakuya make sense, but Toko? I don't know.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected.
Yeah, like they're leading us around. I did feel like that during that entire investigation period. Ellipses.
And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it?
Really?
It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor. Everything's going according to plan.
Oh.
Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
Nice, Byakuya. You're really angry when it counts. Ellipses.
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered.
Yeah.
You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
Okay. Ellipses.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Yeah, it was. Which is really awkward.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom.
Really?
Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Huh.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed.
Huh.
Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
Oh, shit.
I have no idea what you mean.
Uh-oh.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're all going to die, just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
She likes people suffering, guys.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto.
How did she know Taka was killed?
Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the 4 of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead.
Oh, shit.
Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I guess we put that together.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Oh, shit. Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. But what is he alluding to? E-handbook, Monokuma file, and Celeste's account.
All I said was... They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
When Celeste said what she did, she shouldn't have known yet. With that in mind, what's so strange about what she said is...
All I said,
They must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around. They must be positive. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
It's probably the opposite. I'm sorry, BQ. It's probably the opposite. I'm sorry, man.
Shoot!
Alright. I got it. I got it now.
all
I just hate
said,
going
they
through this
must
entire
really enjoying
comment.
the sight of us. They must be. We are going to die.
And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Alright. Let's go back around this pony horse and do it again.
All I said was they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be.
We are all going to die here.
We are going to die. Just like
Got her.
No, that's wrong.
Because you wouldn't have known if that Taka was dead.
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Ellipses.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall.
Bingo.
So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
Yeah.
So how did you know, Celeste?
Unless she was there earlier in the day.
How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
Ellipses.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right?
Maybe.
So let's put the suit on, and then she used the camera's timer to
We know no one else can wear the suit but you,
set up
man.
the picture.
You're the only person who can wear that suit.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer.
Good point.
In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away.
I don't know about that.
If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
Oh.
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
Like what?
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations. That might have been taken at 1 a.m. If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other possibility is Hifumi is dragging the suspect away.
I got it!
That's when they knocked him out
It's
at
not a
1.
picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
Oh shit.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility.
Her face freaked out.
The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around.
Bingo.
And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Oh shit.
Such a thing is utterly impossible.
How?
Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Oh, fuck. Celeste thinks she can prove there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible? Alright. Let's get this down. We got the hammer down to this now. Robo Justice costume, spotless hammer, Robo Justice blueprints. Oh, the blueprints. It's probably the main key here.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit.
No way!
No, because it can't bend at the chest. There's definitely a contradiction. I think it's actually the costume, because he can't bend your...
Then you just draped me across Hifumi. You tried to make me look like the...
Like I said,
As you can see in the picture,
if the person inside the... There's no way they could stand...
It's that, because the costume doesn't let you bend over, nor can you see your feet, so that was the way you could do it, because he'd be draped over, but he wouldn't be able to do anything.
Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
It was super rigid. You totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
that's right. They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
Or was that intentional?
I'm not so sure that was a mistake.
Yeah.
I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Oh shit.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing.
Yeah. It looks like that.
The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Oh shit.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
I think so too, Yakuya.
Checkmate?
Uh-oh. Here it is.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate? Celeste?
Yeah, her switch just got flipped hard.
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Hey, Hifumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Oh my god.
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
What?
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
Why is your name actually Taro?
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
What the fuck?
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
He gave everyone nicknames? It's either nicknames or last names.
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example.
Uh-huh.
So
So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation?
Sounds a little like alternative facts.
No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal.
Okay.
But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
Really?
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
Celeste's name is Yasuhiro?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Unless Celeste was lying about her name since the beginning.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to,
Really?
and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
Oh, shit.
What did you just say?
You've been lying. You've been playing a card this entire time, especially when you got angry. Your accent disappeared.
To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well? Do I?
Right now you do.
What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Oh, shit.
Fine. Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up!
She's having a hard time keeping her accent together.
My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste won't give up. So then, I have to do something to make her accept it. Are we in another battle? Alright, make your argument. E-handbook. That's where it matters. Her real name will always be on that handbook.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
Jesus.
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
Yes, we do.
No, that's wrong.
Show us your e-handbook then. If your name is really Celeste, Celestia Ludenberg.
That's it. The handbook.
Yeah.
what?
Oh, shit.
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything.
Yeah, it would prove your name.
That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
Bam.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Really?
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Oh, shit.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up.
Really?
Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
You were in debt, weren't you?
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes.
Alright, let's do this.
And that'll bring everything to an end.
Alright, guys. Step 1. In this case, the killer... How did the killer recruit their accomplice? Was it seduction? Anything here that would... No, you push the body, it's the hammer. That's... Huh? That has nothing to do with this. Blood packets. Maybe. What time do the killers call their victims to the rec room? There's no... That's the 6 o'clock, this one. Who was the killer? Who was it the killer summoned first? It was... Used a certain item to do it. Nothing, nothing. Okay. Act 3. What was the time Taco was supposed to be at the equipment room? Which was 6 on the dot. And he's super about his time, so he would be there. He came out, swung, and hit him. What was the number of it? I think 4, because he was meant to be killed last. There's the photo. In the library, Fumi used something to fake the existence of a shadowy criminal. The blood. We found him, then he went blood crazy. 3. And then we found them dead. He ran away. He pushed him. Right? There's nothing else that would have shown the... Yeah, no, the rest of this wouldn't have mattered. Okay, so he does it. They take the hammer. The weapon used to kill Hifumi was... Is there anything else that... I think that's it. Let's see if I'm right.
You! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
Oh, man. Oh, he touched her hand.
With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
Okay.
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning.
Then they knocked him out.
That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him.
Okay.
While the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker.
And basically took him out of the picture at that point. Or so to speak.
And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder.
Okay.
The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes.
So that was intentional then.
So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo Justice as the suspect.
Okay.
The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story.
With the blood packets.
With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds. That the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But
alright, so we need to fix the blood packet. No. What is it? In the library, Hifumi used something to fake the existence of a shadowy criminal. Oh, Justice Hammer 2, I guess?
here's exactly what happened. So, next for these attacks, the killers, the first fake incident was the there. The killers wanted us to see, they wanted to make sure we bought the surprise. The second fake incident was the attack in the library.
Bingo.
This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time.
Bingo.
So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared.
Alright.
But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act.
Alright, I know which the one. This is just the replacement of that hammer for this hammer.
The killer is you!
Bam! Alright.
But even Hifumi didn't know what the... Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Why are these roses here in the middle of this? This is a very unique situation to put down here.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
Whoop-bam. That was pretty cool. I like that little animation thing at the end, though. It's totally different.
Lost?
Yes.
I lost?
Yes, you did lose, Celeste. I'm sorry.
When was the last time I was forced to utter such words?
I don't know.
They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko Yasuhiro?
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
So, is she accepting her death now? Hey, do we get a B in the middle of that? Pretty good so far. Cool. Awesome.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin.
Wow.
Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
I guess so, Celeste.
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay.
Damn.
If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote.
Alright.
And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Fucking Monokuma. Pretty sure we all voted Celeste. Damn. So her name was actually Taiko Yasuhiro. Now, why did she play her cards to being a foreign person? It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The black in this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was Celestia Ludenberg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would be happy. I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I am sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So
Then, did you use, I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice,
Indeed.
I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid the mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean... Is she talking about alter ego? Yes, she is.
Say what?
What? What? Fuck, that's bad. What? What? What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop. As usual. How sad.
In other words,
Then you're the one that stole it.
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. Oh, What are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What?
are you okay with
It was
this?
Taka. He stole it.
So then,
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him! But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either one of us got close to her.
You're right, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
Oh wow, so she threw in her own little gambit there.
as for me,
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh.
He did?
as for
He
me,
came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
Oh man. And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime! An absolute crime! I knew he got a little crazy, but
Say what?
I never imagined he'd go that far.
It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was.
I'm about to say something I'll never said before in my life.
Completely unforgivable!
I'm going to kill him! I'm going to fucking kill him!
most
Wait,
unfortunate.
please. If you go now, you'll be playing right into his hands.
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean...
Taka is going to try to kill you.
What? What?
indeed.
And all so he can keep her to himself.
That
This is unforgivable!
bastard!
Completely unforgivable!
Bastard! 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 Bastard!
Honestly,
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts?
Absolutely not! How could I? She...
I swear I will save her!
There you go.
actually,
Then, would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with the plan. I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete.
What are you talking about?
Oh, nothing. Ifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love. Even a love as twisted as that can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
indeed.
Yes, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was to make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that, but it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But
So, you would decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it?
Let's
And
see.
in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough for you and your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But
When you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead?
What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live?
Are you okay with
That's
this?
simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once someone showed up, I told him to stay. I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed me. It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical. I just matched the lie of the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right until the moment of his death.
So in the end...
So you had planned to kill him all along.
But of course, there would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can a human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That is a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean.
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, that's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life began here, my only thought has been escape.
But
All along, you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
You little bitch!
Obviously, that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it here. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little bitch!
I wanted to get out of here. Every day was flesh torture. And do you know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
And it was all for that dream. And what was that dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers/bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires to satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfect aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life, there was that. Leaving the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That was the life. That's what life is all about. So she just wanted to live in luxury. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got the right to the edge, but
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately, my dream was scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end. So why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you're really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're going to die? Aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unraveled, and I take pride in that. It is not just other people. I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I do not fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had the choice then,
Isn't it
I
wonderful?
think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey.
You would just get executed again. Celeste smiled then, and when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie, and that weak fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills, chills, kills!
You all done? Okay then, let's get rolling. The black can disturb the peace and must pay the price.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Alright.
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this.
What is that?
What?
Oh, it's her key.
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way.
Oh, wow.
Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone.
Jesus.
Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Fuck. Kinda wish she didn't have to die. I don't know. Despite her being some crazy psycho gambler who really just wanted to live in a European castle surrounded by vampire butlers and was actually just a normal girl, it's kind of sad to see her die. Where is she? Is she, like... Oh my god, the burning of a Versailles witch. Oh my fucking god. So they're treating her like a witch? Then I guess it's fair to assume there's nothing like spiritual going on here. None of this is spiritual. Most of it's all physical, or, you know, through convincing people or tricking people into doing what you wanted to, or, you know, random emotional murders. None of this is like, you know, magical powers as it seems. It's all like real. This is like real people doing things to get the end goal. But here she is, burning. Oh my god. Is that a fire? That's a fire truck. And none of this makes any goddamn sense. Oh. Oh my god. God damn it. That's a brutal death. It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friends, so I can't pity her, but I can't also deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Alright, guys. I'm going to end this video here because we got to the execution video, and pretty much it's like every other time we have a crash trial. This is just the after the events cleanup, so I'd like to do that with the next video as well as enter into the next chapter. So guys, I hope you're enjoying this series so far, and I hope you're enjoying the progress that I'm making, and I guess at the speed that I'm going. Let me know in the comments below if you like this. Please like, share, subscribe if you like what I'm doing. I hope you guys are gonna have a good week this week and enjoying your days. I'm not really sure after this one. I feel kind of sad, actually. I've been feeling more progressively saddened by each classmate having to die. I mean, the murders don't affect me as much as the executions, because we're really putting to death the murderer. Which, I mean, you should feel some justice in, but at the same time, it's just kind of depressing. Everyone's just trying to escape when they do this murder in this class trial, because it's either you try to kill and escape, or you just sit here and die. So it's really depressing, I guess. It's almost like we have really no hope. So if that computer can give us hope, then it's awesome, but I don't know how to feel about it right now. I guess I'm gonna have to really sit on it and get like a good understanding of how I personally feel about the way this game's been going. It's super sad, super depressing, and super crazy. Anyway, guys, once again, I hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, it's your boy Tofuru, signing out.